All right, I have been muted. Yeah, I know. It is all good. Beginner's mistakes. I don't know why I have muted myself previously. Actually, I do know. I did a test stream yesterday and I really didn't want my mic to be enabled. So, how have you been? How have you been? Let me refresh my YouTube page. Still don't see anything going on. These monitoring tools are silly. Silly. Okay, let's see how that works. Let me know when someone is in the chat, so I know that I'm not talking to myself. Basically, I wanted to discuss a little bit about rolling distributions and the role of the Flathub in all of them. But I am going to need a couple of people in chat in order to make sense of this topic. If you are already in chat, let me know if you have any opinions on rolling distributions of Linux and Flathub. Any opinion at all. I have my own opinion and I do want to share it, but as I just started the stream, I don't expect too many people to hop on like immediately. So it will take a couple of minutes until someone joins who has an opinion. So yeah, my question still stands. Do you have an opinion on rolling Linux distributions plus Flathub? How do you view those things? How do you have any feelings on combining these two or not? Like, do you use some kind of a bleeding edge distribution which gives you like all of the latest stuff, so you have really no need for anything on top of that, such as Flathub? Or do you use something that's not so bleeding edge, maybe doesn't have all of the software that you need, and then you add Flathub as how do you put it in English? The band-aid on top. Ham radio from a balcony. I use Arch and also use Flathub. Okay, let me quickly fix the problem with my... I'm going to answer that and comment. I just need... how do I fix my... you see what the problem is, right? How do I add a transparent black background, like really quickly behind this text? Media source. Okay, let me give me a moment. Please give me actually ham radio. Give me another comment if you can. I'm going to catch up video any moment now. Edit my overlay. Edit this one. Settings. Background color. Background color. Okay, so let's say 50% gray. 50, okay, 0.5. Select, save. Is this good on the bottom, or should I make it a bit darker? This is for the Twitch chat. Let's make it a bit darker more, like 0.6, and save. How about now? I think this is fine. And let me fix the YouTube one. This takes a lot of clicking because the overlay is not coming from my computer, but from another website. Let me check for the streaming tools, overlays, edit, click, size, nope, background color, black, 0.5. 0.6. Sorry for talking to myself, but it is what it is. Okay, this should be a little bit better now. Except for the fact that the text is gone. Okay, let's fix that as well. Save. Go back to Twitch for a second. This is a kind of test stream for me because I have never ever streamed on 2 platforms at once. Yesterday it was an actual test, and this will be an, let's say, a second test. Go messages permanently, save. I thought that showing messages for 2 minutes would be fine, but apparently I was mistaken. Now the letters are readable. Yeah, well, your previous messages are gone, but I can see them still in the actual control panel. I use Arch and also Flathub. I use Flathub on Arch because I use Qtel. Qtel? You mean Qtile? And that does not. I don't know what Qtel is, or did you mean Qtile? I don't know. And that doesn't work with Pipewire. I mean, you don't need to use Pipewire on Arch. That's the thing with Arch. You can install whatever. The letters need to be black. The letters can't be black if they are hovering above my chair, right? So if they pass through my chair, then the black letters will no longer be fine. I think the background thingy would be a little bit better. It's not perfect, but I'm going to tune it overall through time, right? Now the letters are readable, yeah. Anyways, the Arch Linux thingy, right? As I don't know how many times I said this already, but I did use Debian for a long time, and generally I am more like a stable distribution kind of a person. I do have a sort of FOMO, like fear of missing out with new packages, but exactly FS Fan 73, maybe a dark or medium blue. Well, you got your wish automatically on your name, and it's not my doing. It's the Stream Elements who did that to your name. I'm the one who picked the white color for the text that you guys are speaking. But we'll see. I accept all of the comments. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, anyways, I do have some kind of fear of missing out in regards to using all of the latest software, even when I'm not doing any kind of content creation. Just as a pure user, I tend to update everything on the very latest the bleeding edge versions of software. And I have always been doing that. And Debian was a kind of a sanctuary for me to heal me from having the need to update everything all of the time. And, I'm not sure how better to explain it, right? But with the content creation, I kind of need to have the latest software so I can, test it, have an opinion about it, show it to people. Meat Lotion, hello, Subtart, and everyone else. Yeah, hello, Meat Lotion. You can join Meat Lotion. You can join via Twitch for the first time today. You don't have to. I'm just saying that you actually can do that now. Just saying. But yeah, blue is my favorite color, and it would be okay going over your chair. I mean, darker color against the darker color, I don't think that would work pretty good, but I will tune it over time. What I would like to accomplish is having just one chat for both of my streams, but I did not find a way to do that. So the Twitch stream is on the bottom. This is Twitch chat here, and this is YouTube chat. So that's how I did it for the first stream, right? And we're going to see how that works through time, over time, whatever. But yeah, what I was about to talk about, I switched to Arch to have latest stuff, and I didn't really get the latest stuff. Meat Lotion, hello. Your text should appear on the bottom half, but it didn't for some reason. Now that's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. Let me try to fix that. Let me see if I can fix that. Chat Twitch. Copy the URL. Chat Twitch. The URL is fine. The URL is fine, but it's not showing up. What the hell? Show messages permanently. Background color. Layers. Text style. Opacity. Text settings. White color. I have no clue. You broke Twitch? Yeah, I can see that you broke Twitch. I don't know why is this not showing up. Not showing up. Layers. Settings. Show messages permanently. I don't know. It seems fine. Should be showing something. Let me see if the bot is even joined. Dashboard. The bot is in your chat. Oh, I know what I did. I changed my Twitch URL yesterday, and the bot doesn't know. Bart, join, mod the bot. Now it should be fine. Type something again, Meat Lotion. I break things so you don't have to. Yeah. Type something again now. I changed the Twitch channel name yesterday, and I didn't tell the bot what my new URL is. Actually, I can type something instead of you. Test. Let's see if the bot can pick it up. I'm curious where you're from. Your accent says new land. New land in terms of new continent? We can chat about whatever, guys, you want. But I do have something to say about Arch Linux. And Amir, hello, and welcome to YouTube. Which new land are we talking about? I broke Twitch. Or Meat Lotion broke Twitch? A good question. Channel settings. Well, not showing up. What can I say? Yeah, I guess I guess I can't fix Twitch for now. It did work yesterday. Sorry for derailing the chat. That's fine. That's fine. If anyone even joins on Twitch, I'm gonna invest some more effort into fixing it. I'm gonna eat pizza soon. Yeah, I can see that. It was a funny. It was a funny. That's two sentences. Okay. So was trying to say I never heard anyone sound like you. I am in getting better. This sentence doesn't make sense. Your grammar is bad. uh, I am in getting better USA. What does that mean? I could attempt to understand that you meant that you are getting better in learning the United States of America language, or I don't know what did you mean. I'm actually really annoyed by my Twitch chat suddenly not working, and it did work yesterday. Definitely did work yesterday. Add Twitch channel. Dashboard. Part. Join again. Mod the bot. Mod the bot. Okay. Come on, bot. Do your thing. Go, bot. As opposed to, I was going to say, great USA. It's getting better because of a new president. Um, okay, okay. Regarding the president, fine. But I still didn't understand. As opposed to, I was going to say, you're trying to put inject a little bit of politics into something that I am not really understanding properly. Or is the joke flying over my head? But yeah, where am I from? Europe. And which part of Europe? Eastern part of Europe, somewhat. I mean, most of the people who come to my channel already know my country, but we can play a little bit of guesswork here if you want to make it fun, just to see how long will it take you to I don't guess. I guess, you know, could be fun. I get nothing to hide in terms of country. I have mentioned my country countless of times so far, so I was just wondering how much it will take you to guess. But obviously, I'm not from the USA. I don't even sound like an native English people do. I mean, native English speaking people. Not. I didn't mean the Brits, right? The Brits really sound special. I may be able to practice some sentences and blend a little bit into Americans, but it would take a little bit of effort to do even that while blending into British. No way, like literally no way. I don't think that's possible. Maybe if I would live there for 10 years or something, maybe I would pick it up. Anyways, while you're trying to guess the country, and someone else joined my Twitch channel, but just to warn you guys on Twitch, my Twitch overlay is a little bit broken, so I'm gonna read your messages aloud when you post them. I kind of broke my Twitch chat. The bottom part is supposed to be Twitch chat, right? I have 5 people on Twitch chat and nobody's speaking anything, so that's I guess good. But yeah, Arch Linux. I got the latest kernel. I could have gotten that with Fedora as well. but also with the Debian backports as well. So the latest kernel is not a big thing that I got with Arch Linux. A somewhat big thing that I got with Arch Linux was KDE Plasma, having the latest version, but it's not really a huge requirement. I was just a little bit annoyed by having 5.27.5 version of Plasma on Debian 12, and that one has some really eye piercing bugs. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but some things in that version of Plasma really annoyed me. And the latest version of 5.27 fixed those bugs that I found annoying, but Debian never imported, if that's a good way to put it, Debian never updated Plasma 5.27 to the latest version of 5.27, nor did I ever planned on doing that, but I kind of hoped they would do it. It was just my own wish, so wishful thinking, yeah. But Plasma aside, Plasma is not that important. If it works, right? So you can do your desktoping thing, right, with your computer. Another thing that I needed was the latest Mesa, which Arch Linux, of course, provides, but also Mesa is in Debian backports, and you can use the external repositories to update those. So not really a deal breaker that would require a huge jump from Debian stable to Arch, like a rolling, bleeding distribution. I'm just counting the reasons why I switched to Arch Linux and why I didn't really need to, right? So there are some tools that I use every day. Kdenlive, my video editor that I use literally every day. And Arch Linux people managed to break it like a month ago, and it still doesn't work. And I use it every day. So it depends on SDL library, which was updated to the new version in Arch Linux first. Like literally, they were the first ones to update to the new version, and they decided to just delete the old version. They put SDL3 into their repository, and they deleted SDL2. And Kdenlive depends on SDL2, but the way it was, Ronya Akatsuki asked, did I try using the Flatpak version of Kdenlive? Yes, I did. I'm going to get to that soon, but that's the point. Just give me a second. I will get to the point. The way Arch Linux approached upgrading the SDL2 to SDL3 is that they put only SDL3 into their repository. Plus, there is a package called SDL2-compat, so like a compatibility layer for SDL3 to work with SDL2 API, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not a programmer, but it is a fact that SDL2, the actual SDL2, is no longer present in Arch Linux. So you can only use the backwards compatibility mode from SDL3. And this one is not behaving exactly the same as SDL2. So Kdenlive didn't have sound for me. Literally no sound. So that's kind of unusable, don't you think? I mean, the video editor in which you cannot listen to yourself, what you said, you can't decide where to cut your video and how to add no sound, right? Useless application. So yeah, of course I installed a Flathub version, and that one works perfectly. But if I'm using a Flathub version of a software for which I have switched to a rolling distribution, which is supposed to give it to me natively, then my reasoning for switching from Debian to Arch is, let's say, 1 point down. if you know what I mean by this. 1 point down. One less reason for switching from Debian to Arch, because Debian also can use the, let's call it a Flathub distribution. Can I call it a Flathub distribution? Because that's kind of what it is, right? It is a distribution that sits on top of another distribution. So, of course, it's not a real distribution, but in a certain viewpoint, I think I am allowed to call it this way. So one less reason for Arch, right? And a month later, someone fixed the problem with the audio. So Kdenlive now has audio. Did the SDL3 developer make the SDL2 backward compatibility better? Or did Kdenlive adapt their program towards the SDL3 backwards compatibility mode in order to accommodate for the differences between SDL2 and the SDL2 compatibility mode from SDL3? Now I'm entangling myself, but someone fixed it, okay? Now it works. I did report my problem to the developers, and they did ask me for a couple of checks to do on my own, and there were more people with the exact same problem that I had. But generally what I meant is that Arch Linux didn't need to give me the Flathub version of Kdenlive, the latest version. Debian also has this, right? Ham Radio says I use the Flatpak also for OBS. Yeah, me too. Ronya Akatsuki says that the only proper version of OBS on Linux is the Flatpak one. Literally none packaged for any other distro works 100%. Okay, let me show something to you. This is a good discussion, actually, really good one. Let me show something to you. I think, yes, move it a bit around, and round and round we go. Game stream, okay. So now we don't have our double chat anymore, but I guess that's it. Okay. Flatpak list. Grab Kdenlive. Okay, so Kdenlive, I am now using. Oh, I forgot to say something. After it was fixed, right? After a month, Kdenlive was apparently fixed, and now it has sound. Who fixed it? I don't know. It is fixed. And I wouldn't say happy about it because it took quite a while. If there weren't for the Flathub, I would have to switch either to another distribution to get working Kdenlive, or I would have to compile it myself, or I would have to switch to another software. So Flathub kind of saved me because it was the most painless way to continue my existing workflow without dealing with the sudden problem, right? So after the sound was fixed on Kdenlive Arch version, now rendering crashes literally every time. It kind of renders the video, but it crashes, and there is an output file, and I can watch it, but I'm afraid that there are some glitches in this video because it literally says rendering crashed. So what exactly crashed, I'm not sure, but it says rendering crashed, and the Flatpak version of Kdenlive never crashes the rendering. So I'm kind of not getting to the point, but I have already crossed the point of no longer even wanting to use the Arch Linux version of Kdenlive. I'm just gonna stick to the Flatpak version because this one works, and this is it for me. Kdenlive is a Flatpak software for me from now on, and I really don't want to bother with this topic anymore. So then we have another topic, which Ham Radio mentioned, right? OBS, right? Luke Olesko, Void Linux packaged it correctly. The problem of downstream packaging starts to show up in these moments. Well, I don't use Void Linux, right? So the topic is not which distribution is the best or which is a better one for this use case, which is the worst one for use case. What I was trying to talk about is how I personally switched from Debian stable to Arch Linux. And I'm trying to, let's say, speak out on the whether this was a good decision, right? I'm not talking that Void Linux is good or bad. I'm just saying whether my decision to switch to Arch was good or a bad one, right? That's what I'm talking about. So the OBS, right? First of all, this is a plugin that I have installed yesterday from Flathub to OBS. And this plugin helps me, not helps me, it gives me a very easy opportunity to multi-stream. So this stream is live on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, right? There is nobody on, there is one viewer on Twitch, and that actually might be me because I'm watching, I'm monitoring my stream through the creator dashboard thingy. I'm not sure if that counts as a viewer or not, but it says one, so maybe somebody's watching. Nobody really knows that. From the people who follow me on Twitch, nobody really knows that I'm doing a Linux channel at all. I have always been streaming only video games on Twitch. So if they see Arch Linux topic on Twitch, probably that's the reason why nobody's clicking, and that's perfectly fine. But I am having this option to multi-stream now. And the way that I can get this plugin into the Arch package version of OBS is to download the plugin manually if it exists on the Atom website and manually insert it into my OBS folder. And then if a new version comes out, and eventually it will, then I have to fetch the plugin again manually and insert it into my OBS plugins folder. And I have to manually check for the new releases for this, right? So that's how that works. DroidCam is another plugin with the almost exact same problem, except for the fact that DroidCam no longer offers a plugin for OBS for Linux, except for the Flathub version. So Flathub version of DroidCam is the only way that I can get this plugin. And I actually paid for this plugin previously. And what this plugin gives me, it installs on my Android, and you run it from here, and it automatically streams through to your OBS directly through the network. So whatever my camera is seeing, you guys can see on the OBS at the same time, right? It is a perfectly wireless camera, so to speak, right? So if I need two cameras at once, right? This one is a face cam. And if I need a second camera to show you something that's going on my desk or something similar, then I just start Droid Cam, right? And the only way I can get it is, I wanted to do a swear word, but I'm going to restrain myself. Right, Flathub. Move transition. Same thing as with the Atom, right? They do offer a plugin that I can download manually, but why would I do that if the if it's available as an auto update on the Flathub? And the best part of all of this story is that the OBS developer, himself or themselves are maintaining this Flatpak on the Flathub. So I can rest assured that this is the best version of OBS program that I can use. There is no, I actually tried using the Arch version, but then I needed some of these plugins, and one thing led to another, and I ended up on only using the Flathub version, right? Let me just catch up with chat because I was kind of talking to myself for a while. Kroni Akatsuki is asking, does it have the proper YouTube keys to properly live stream? I suppose you're asking about Atom? I mean, yeah, I can look, this is my OBS right now, right? So on the bottom right, you can't see it. You move it from my camera. So on the bottom right, I have something that's called built-in stream, and this is the stream setup that I have set up in my OBS, right? The one and only stream that you can set up in your OBS in one OBS profile, right? And the one below it that I call Twitch output, this is the additional stream, right? I can have more of them. I can add like 6 of them if I want. But generally, I have to start the built-in stream first, and then I can start the rest of them. I only need to wait maybe 1 or 2 seconds until the first one starts, and then I can fire up the rest of them. And I am now streaming from my PC into 2 directions, right? And it doesn't even need extra CPU power because I'm using the same encoder for both of these streams. Yeah, I can show it to you here. So, well, it is a bit higher load average, but not that high, right? For those of you who don't know how load average works, if you thought that load average of 1 means 100% of CPU, you would be slightly mistaken. That used to be true while we only had 1 core on our processors, right? So if you have 8 cores like I do, then load average of 8 would mean roughly 100% of CPU usage, but it is not that simple still. I have 16 threads in total. So basically, if the load average comes to 16, this means that this CPU is giving the absolute limits of its abilities. But this highly depends on which kind of software is currently using the CPU power. Because the way threads work is if an application is perfectly optimized for multi-core usage, then this application doesn't need multi-threading at all, if it's perfectly optimized. And if you use such an application and you get to the load average of 8, then this is the absolute limit of what the CPU can give you. If the application is not that perfect in regards to multi-core usage, then the hyper-threading functionality will help it to balance the workload across multiple cores by pretending to have 16 cores. Maybe I didn't explain it properly, but generally the load average between 8 and 16 means that you're going overboard with the CPU usage. Anything below 8 means that the CPU still has room to spare, but anything above 8, you can never be sure. Is it 100% utilized or not. And once it reaches 16, then you're dead. Then your machine is going to be in a very, very bad state in terms of how much responsive it is. Frank, hello Frank, and welcome in. Frank says, for me, Flatpak is essential for some applications when I use Debian. Well, Flatpak is quite useful in Debian, right? Luke Olesko said something and then reconsidered. Midlotion says, have you considered using DistroBox to get packages from other distros? Yes, I have. Yes, I have, but I didn't. I didn't return to Debian, right? Because DistroBox would help me a lot on Debian and not so much on Arch. Because on Arch Linux, I kind of get everything, the latest versions, right? So using DistroBox to, fetch software from another distribution, while the thing is, if you, what is the word from, I don't know if someone from Balkan is in chat, but I need a word for izložiti se. Expose. Okay, if you expose yourself to the Arch Linux problems, which by default come from the fact that this is a rolling bleeding edge distribution, right? When you adopt Arch Linux, you're automatically exposing yourselves to some amount of problems, right? Your mileage may vary and you might get more issues or less issues. Why don't I have? I have. Okay, sorry. I thought that my stream is dead on Twitch. It is fine. We quickly switch back to M1. If you expose yourself to the Arch, then it doesn't make too much sense to DistroBox packages from other distributions, because they will either be the same version or lower version. They will rarely, if ever, be a newer version than on Arch Linux, right? Arch is pretty bleeding edge. So on Debian Linux, this might be a good thing to use DistroBox in order to maybe fetch something from Arch. But then again, you can get it from Flathub as well. So we are getting to the point of, how much of a good decision was it for me? I'm not actually trying to defend the decision, right? It's more like a public discussion. Just want to hear what you think about it, because sooner or later I'm going to go back to Debian uh, because it's my home, and it is rough and tough to get yourself separated from your home. It has been a nice run with Arch Linux, and I am going to stay more on Arch, but over time I kind of starting to understand. I'm going to catch up with chat in a moment, but over time I'm kind of starting to understand the kind of what I lost, right, when I separated myself from Debian. I did get the latest software, and it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool, but I wanted to play video games, and for video games, I needed the latest version of the Valve's compositor GameScope. I needed new GameScope, and I'm pretty sure that Debian now has a GameScope in backports. I didn't check it, but I believe I saw it appear like a wild Pokemon in between my Debian Exodus and today. Somewhere in between, I think GameScope appeared in bookworm backports. And I do use GameScope, so I want to have the latest version of GameScope because this thing is always in the development. I kind of want the latest version. And as I said, I can get Mesa stuff in multiple ways. But look at this. Let me show you something. Flat back list. Yes. Okay. Can we? I'm trying to see how to filter this out. Can you read this? Oh, you can't read it because I'm not showing it on your screen. Okay. I see the problem. Problem game stream. So okay, I was testing Zen browser for my browser's video, and I needed Flathub for this because Arch doesn't have Zen browser. I needed AnyDisk for something, and I got it from Flathub because Arch Linux doesn't have AnyDisk. I needed Brave, and well, I got it from Flathub because Arch doesn't have Brave. Funny enough, Debian does have Brave. You know, it is official third-party repo, but it does have it, like, you know, in a very official kind of way, while Arch Linux does not. Let's seal. Is this in Arch repository? I am actually not sure. I already said what I think about OBS Studio and my plugins and my plugins and my plugins, and Bottles is also the best version on Flathub, so that it doesn't make sense to get this from your distribution packaging. I actually forgot what this is, but probably I was testing something. Jump and Bump video game, super fun for family entertainment. I would recommend you try this. You can play it in 4 players at once on the same keyboard, mouse, joystick, whatever. It's extremely fun, but more like for parties. This one is not on Arch repository, so I need Flathub for this. This one is not on Arch repository, so I need Flathub for this. This one is not, this is a video game, this is Diablo 1. This one is not on Arch repository. This one is not on Arch repository. What else do we have here? GNOME Boxes probably is on Arch repository. Yeah, I didn't pull it from Arch because it wanted to pull a lot of packages, and I needed some time to think about it. I didn't want to do that on stream. Much easier to pull it from Flathub while streaming, and I can just uninstall it later and not worry about it. GIMP. There is no beta version of GIMP on Arch Linux, and I really need GIMP version 3 because the latest, the GIMP version that is currently in Arch repository is always crashing. And it always crashes on the exact same thing that I edit every single time. So I just switched to version 3 from Flathub, which is a beta version, which not only does not crash, but it also has some more features that I found very useful for working on my thumbnails and stuff like that. So one other minus for Arch Linux and plus for the Flathub distribution. Kdenlive, I already said what I had on that topic, right? Let me catch up with chat. Kroni Akatsuki says, if you're using DroidCam to use your phone for webcam, try using whatever. Doesn't require anything installed on your phone. You just have to enable wireless ADB. Kroni Akatsuki, I know it's been a while since you said this, but I would need to see what it entails, right? What do I need to set up in OBS to get that, and whether this is a better product or worse for my needs. Luke Olesko also says Scorpio is good. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Let me enter this word into my search engine. SCRCY. Okay. Oh, the .org. They have a .org domain. Nice. Okay. Crony says I use it like a webcam with my phone because my laptop webcam is really bad. Well, this camera is not that good either. Yeah, it needs more light, basically. That's why DistroBox might have been useful for you to run an older Kdenlive that didn't break. Kdenlive is a rather buggy application in general, to be honest with you, and newer versions are somewhat better than the old ones. It's a little bit specific situation, to be honest. And I actually want the latest version because it's better than the old one. Alexei, welcome into chat. Sorry, I just came to your message. Arch may not have a package at all, though, except in the user repository. So one could use DistroBox for Debian or Red Hat packages. Yeah, someone else above you, Meatlotion, I think, said the exact same thing. This is why DistroBox is so useful. Yeah, but both to Alexei and Meatlotion, I already said this a couple of minutes ago. If I am going to patch my needs with DistroBox, then why am I exposing myself to the bleeding edge rolling distributions such as Arch, which inevitably will cause me headaches? That's the question. If I'm going to rely on DistroBox, then why not use the as stable as possible base, such as Debian or whichever other super stable distribution? Then why not use that one, which I know for a fact that it will have the least possible amount of issues, and then put Flathub and DistroBox on top of it? That is the question today, and we have 8 more minutes to answer this because I gotta go. While true do and one, I'm back on Linux. I didn't stay on Windows too long. LOL. Well, I already told you, guy. Man, sorry. My English is like that. I already told you. You are always welcome here. You can enter my Matrix chat room and exit as many times as you like. Možeš pustit pasa, uskoro ću gasit. My daughter is reminding me that we have to go in 7 minutes. Yeah, anyways, welcome back. Crony says it would seem like he doesn't use Arch user repository. Luke Olesko is asking, do you not use Arch user repository? No, I don't use it. I don't like it. It is way overboard. I am going to try to explain it in as little words as I can, but at the same time, I'm going to try to transfer my emotion properly. If you don't understand me, I apologize in advance, but I'm going to try. I'm coming from Debian stable straight to Arch Linux. So I'm coming from super stable distribution to super unstable distribution. Can we accept this fact about Arch? I mean, it's good. It is good. I'm not saying that it crashes every day, but generally it is bleeding edge, right? And it is, thanks for the follow works band. Sorry for pronouncing your name in a wrong way. So Arch Linux, right? This jump from Debian to Arch already brought me to the edge of my abilities to handle the the bleeding edge part of it, right? And what Arch user repository is, it is basically something that I don't generally trust. And yes, you can tell me that I can look into the script that it is pulling and I can check it out myself. What exactly is it doing? And you can be sure that it is not going to cause any problems on my Linux system, on my Arch Linux system. And you can be sure that many other people are using the exact same Arch user repository package, and that surely someone else have noticed a problem with this same package that I'm using right now. But here's the thing. when I tried to install something from the Arch user repository, I did exactly that as I just described. I went to see what this package is doing. Then I opened the script to see what is it pulling from which Git source. And then I noticed that this package has dependencies, of course, like many other packages do. They have dependencies. And then I noticed that the dependencies for my program are like 80% inside the Arch user repository. So I ended up by pulling automatically like, let's say 4 dependencies from Arch extras and 18 dependencies from Arch user repository. So I went to the first Arch user repository dependency and I checked which one, which script, which this script, what is it doing, what is it pulling, where is it pulling from, and what is it exactly doing. And then I noticed that this dependency, the first one of 18, also has another dependency in Arch user repository. And then I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna, just download from Flathub. I don't have time for this. I hope this explanation is okay with you guys. It is, I'm trying to be honest. You can spit on me if you want. If you are a huge Arch Linux fan, you can say you're using it wrong. Like we used to use the iPhones in a wrong way. That's what Apple told us because the signal was bad because we have been touching the phone while talking. And if you're going to tell me that I'm using Arch Linux in a wrong way and that Arch user repository is the number one reason to use the Arch Linux, then this is an even bigger reason to, well, not use it, right? Works banned on Twitch says, but in case of Flathub, how does it differ from user repository on Arch? I apologize, Works banned, for your message not showing up on my screen. I broke something today, and I'm going to have to fix it later. But yeah, I can answer this. Let's go here for a short moment. Flathub. Hub. Okay. Bottles. Okay. So the difference, this is going to take a couple of sentences. So the difference between bottles on the Flathub and bottles on Arch user, not Arch user, on Arch whatever repository is that Arch is packaging one. I think it's actually in user repository, but not sure. And the other one has a check mark here. And does check mark give me any peace of mind? No. What it does give me is it does give me an opportunity to click on the check mark and see who has verified this upload, right? Who is doing this upload on Flathub? So apparently the upload of this application to the Flathub is doing the person or the company who owns this domain, right? And I know for a fact that this domain is from the actual author of this application, right? So for this particular application, I am now sure that this is a legit upload and I trust it more than I would trust a bunch of Arch user repository uploaders. And I'm not talking about one package on the Arch user repository because these packages tend to pull more of the packages from Arch user repository, and this is where things get complicated for me to track. Tracking is what I have a problem with. If you go back to, what did I just do? You go back to Flathub and click on Rota. Okay, this one also has some kind of check mark. Well, you know for a fact that some or many applications on Flathub don't have a check mark, right? So let's say FIPS. So whatever FIPS, it says unverified, so we have no clue who uploaded this. Okay, so in this case, I'm not going to download this because nobody is putting their name behind this upload. So for me, this is a no-no. I don't want it. I'm going to use the I don't even know what this is, but let's say that I want this fib sting. I'm going to use it from a Debian package if it exists. If it doesn't exist, I'm going to go to the web page of the developer or to their Git web page. Maybe I'm going to compile it myself, but I'm not downloading this because it is not, nobody is putting their face and their name behind this upload, okay? So for me, this is not a good thing to download. There is a middle ground here, which is when you have a check mark and you have no clue who that is. That requires a little bit of research. And I guess my time is up, as you can see in the top right corner. And I really need to take my daughter to her training. But generally, that's what I wanted to explain to the Works band in Twitch chat. And let me just try to catch up with chat if I can before we shut it down for now. Our packages can be malicious and you have trust to the package build creator to be credible. They can be malicious. Look, don't get me wrong. I trust the power of the community, if that's a well put sentence. Because when you see some software being downloaded many times, then the chance that this is malicious is decreasing rapidly as people download it and look into it, right? But generally, I tend to draw some lines, and I'm absolutely not telling anyone how to use their Linux system or their computer at all. I am not putting words into your mouth. All I'm doing is telling you how I do my things, and I really don't want you to copy me. You need to use your heads and decide on your own. If you are one of those people who trusts blindly in everything that is in ArchUser repository, then you are most probably one of those people who tend to say that Arch Linux broke itself. Generally, it doesn't break itself. Usually, it's the user who breaks Arch Linux. And I have a relatively high opinion on Arch Linux. I think it's a great project, but some lines I'm trying to draw here for which purpose this distribution is best suited for. That is what I'm trying to put into a bucket package, if you will, right? Don't use Flatpaks on NixOS. Haven't found package that isn't packaged for NixOS that is in Flatpak. Good stuff. Yeah, NixOS is a bit different than others. Ursa Menux. Hello there, first live stream of yours I come. Welcome into the live stream, Ursa Menux. How are you? If my name feels too hard to spell, you can simply call me Ursa. Well, Ursa or Ursa Menux, tell me if I read it correctly or in a completely wrong way, but the way I see it is Ursa Menux. Midlotion says Arch doesn't mean you have to always run the latest software, like speed limit on the road. Idemo. Okay, evo idem. I personally prefer a boring distribution like Debian or Slackware in return from long-time stability. Okay, long-time support doesn't have to be boring. Anyways, guys, as I said, 1 hour is up. I need to get out of here, and my daughter is going to wave to you in a way that you can see 3 hands. Put more hands. Put more hands. Put one more. Okay. We need to go. We need to go now. But I'm going to be live again sometimes soon. Thanks again, everyone, from both of the... Works Band says in tweet, and one more thing, that in case of Flathub, you need to submit your manifest package to the ****, whatever that is. So I guess it should pass some checks on that step. It does pass some checks. Actually, I am going to upload something to Flathub probably this weekend, and I'm going to see the entire procedure for myself. I really want to see it. Anyways, thank you very much for hanging out, and I'm going to see you very, very soon.